Hello everyone and welcome back to Lost Worlds. We saw the war. We saw the journey. Now let's see what happened after Odysseus returned back to Ithaca. Before we jump in, please do like, share, and subscribe so that I can produce more such content for you. Also let us know what you would like to see next in the comments section. If you haven't checked out the previous videos, I would recommend to watch the previous 2 parts before watching this video. Now, let's get into the video. He had been gone 20 years. He had fought a 10-year war. He had spent 10 more years trying to get home. Lost, cursed, shipwrecked, imprisoned by a goddess on a paradise island. And now, finally, impossibly, he was standing at the gates of his own house. In rags, the goddess Athena had disguised him. An old beggar, bent, dirty, unrecognizable. Because Odysseus didn't walk back into his own palace announcing himself. He walked in as nobody. He had been the smartest man in Greece for 20 years. He wasn't going to stop now. While Odysseus was fighting at Troy, Calypso was keeping him prisoner. The sea was trying to kill him. Penelope was holding Ithaca together. Alone. The suitors had arrived years ago. 108 of them, princes and nobles from across the Greek islands, all claiming that Odysseus was surely dead and Penelope should choose a new husband. Whoever she chose would become king of Ithaca. Penelope said, "I will choose when I finish weaving this burial shroud for my father-in-law, Laertes." Then every night she unpicked the day's weaving. She bought herself 3 years with a loom. When the trick was discovered, she came up with another one. She told the suitors she would marry whichever of them could string Odysseus's great bow and shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads in a row. She knew perfectly well that none of them could do it. She was also buying time for something she couldn't quite let herself believe. That maybe he was still out there. The suitors were not cartoon villains. Most of them genuinely believed Odysseus was dead. Most of them had been waiting for years. Most of them were bored, drunk, and increasingly desperate. Because a beautiful, intelligent widow who kept delaying her answer was maddening. But some of them were worse than that. The ringleaders, Antinous and Eurymachus, had been plotting to murder Telemachus, Odysseus' son, so that he couldn't inherit. They were men who had decided that if they couldn't marry their way into Ithaca, they would kill their way in. One of the suitors threw a footstool at the beggar. The beggar didn't react. He just looked at the suitor with his old eyes and said nothing. In the mythology, there is a moment, scholars have written about it for thousands of years, where Homer tells us that the suitors felt a chill they couldn't explain. They didn't know why. We do. Everyone in that hall was about to die. Only one of them knew it. Telemachus was a newborn when Odysseus left for Troy. He had spent 20 years growing up as the son of a legend, a father he had never met, a ghost of a man whose reputation filled every room but whose face he couldn't picture. The suitors treated him as irrelevant, a boy, someone to be managed or, if necessary, eliminated. They had underestimated him too. Odysseus revealed himself to Telemachus in private. The scene Homer writes is one of the most moving in the entire poem. 2 men who have been missing each other for 20 years. A father who left a baby and came back to find a man. A son who grew up with a ghost and found a person. They had one night to make a plan. 2 people recognized him. His old nurse, Eurycleia, who had raised him from a child, recognized a scar on his thigh while washing his feet. She grabbed his leg and looked up at him with her mouth open. He gripped her throat gently and said, "Not a word." She told no one. Penelope talked to the beggar, this old stranger, for a long time. She told him about her husband, about the bow contest she had announced, about the dream she'd had. Some scholars believe she knew, that some part of her recognized the cadence of his speech, the way he listened, the particular quality of his attention. Homer never tells us. What he tells us is that she wept after the conversation, and that the beggar, alone in the dark afterward, also wept. Two people who had found each other and couldn't say so yet. The contest began. Penelope brought out Odysseus's great bow and set up the 12 axes. The rule was simple: string the bow, shoot through all 12. One by one, the suitors tried. One by one, they failed. Some couldn't even bend the bow enough to get the string on it. Some got it partly strung and gave up. The greatest warriors among the suitors, men who had won wars, could not string the bow of Odysseus. Then the beggar asked to try. The suitors laughed. Some of them were angry. The humiliation of an old beggar attempting what they couldn't do was too much. Antinous said, "Absolutely not." Telemachus said, "Give him the bow." He strung it without apparent effort. The hall went silent. The night before, Odysseus and Telemachus had moved every weapon in the hall. The suitors' swords and spears, gone. Quietly taken and stored away while the suitors slept off their wine. The hall had one set of weapons in it now, the bow, and the quiver of arrows that came with it. He shot through all 12 axes. First arrow. Then he turned, still holding the bow, the quiver at his side, and looked at the suitors. And he was not a beggar anymore. He was Odysseus, king of Ithaca, son of Laertes, the man who won the Trojan War, the man the gods had been trying to kill for 20 years and hadn't managed. He said, "Now I shall hit a mark that no man has yet hit." He aimed at Antinous. The suitors tried to bargain. Eurymachus, the second ringleader, stood up and said, "Antinous was responsible for everything. Blame him. He's dead. We'll pay you back everything we've eaten. We'll bring you gold. We'll make it right." Odysseus said, "There is not enough gold in the world," and kept shooting. The fight was brief and one-sided. 108 suitors, 4 defenders, Odysseus, Telemachus, and 2 loyal servants. Not one suitor escaped. Homer describes the hall afterward. The bodies piled like fish hauled up in a net, silver and gold gleaming in the torchlight, the smell of blood and wine. Then Odysseus asked for Euryclea. He told her to bring Penelope. Penelope didn't throw herself into his arms. She sat across the room and looked at him. Telemachus was frustrated. He told her, "Mother, this is your husband. Stop being cold." She said to him, "If he is truly Odysseus, we will know each other. We have ways of recognizing each other that are secret between us." She tested him. She mentioned the marriage bed. He knew the secret of it, that it was built into a living olive tree, unmovable, the most private thing between them, something no imposter could know. That was how 20 years ended. Not with speeches, with a secret about a bed and an olive tree. The Odyssey is 3,000 years old. It has never been out of print. It has never stopped being read. Every generation finds something different in it: a war story, an adventure, a love story, a meditation on identity and home. But here's what Homer keeps coming back to, in every book, in every scene. The thing Odysseus wants more than anything, more than glory, more than power, more than immortality when Calypso offers it, is to go home. Not to Troy, not to any of the wondrous, terrible islands he visited.
I feared I'd
Home.
lost you.
Homer wrote
I
about a
never
man
stopped
who had seen everything the world had to offer: monsters and gods and paradise and war, and decided that none of it was worth a rocky island and a woman who tested him with a secret about a bed. After 3,000 years, we still understand exactly why. Subscribe to @LostWorlds9 and comment, what do you want to see next? Let us know in comments if you want to know what happened next in the Odyssey.